Good evening, everybody. Sorry for a moment here. I was having a little bit of an issue with the microphone positioning here. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're all healthy, happy, and all those things. We're going to get started here in just a moment because I am also at the same time posting the stream on the social medias. So give me one moment here while I announce that I am indeed live. Okay. That's good. I gotta figure out a thing whether or not to post when I'm live on Moonbeam or if that's just kind of redundant. Because it feels kind of redundant, but at the same time, I mean, right now it feels kind of redundant because there's not that many people going live at the same time. But on the same vein, if things go well, eventually there will be. So maybe I should get into the habit of it, as it were. I don't know. I've always been what's the word I want to use? I guess conservative when it comes to, well, conservative, maybe not conservative. I guess shy is a better word. As much as I hate that word, I guess it's a better word. When it comes to like self-promotions and stuff. But I feel like I might have to overcome some of that because there's some challenges I need to do. I need to take on when it comes to community building here. Trying to community build over on Moonbeam, and I'm gonna have to start kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna have to start reaching out and doing things that put me out of my normal comfort zone, as it were. All right. So, have I been? Here's a good question. It sounds like I have the music going. So, have I been using the Grim Dawn music? I think I've been using the Grim Dawn music and not actually playing my own songs here, because I think it's been. I can hear the music, sort of. It's low, but it's there. Let me see. Audio. Yeah, I have the music up. So, all right, we'll let the Grim Dawn music go. I was debating whether or not to just play my own, like keep playing, or my own play, like continue playing OC Remix Radio while we run around and do things, but there's spoken dialogue and stuff here too. We'll let it go. It's been a while. It has been a while. We are doing the DLC here, and trying to make some progress. Let's do some reading. Writings of Zarthulian, Zarthuzelian, Zarthuzelen. Let's try that. The one they call Ouroboros makes mockery of the gods. The Lord Executioner cut at his flesh, but the wounds refuse to bleed. His limbs grow back. His skin is impervious to flame. I believe the time has come for me to descend into that vile place and to deal with the heathen myself. We shall see how he reacts to the cleansing flame of the divine. What else do we have here? I should probably get a lot of this stuff into my storage because I think we have a ton of stuff here. Loyalty through blood. News has reached us through the tendrils of night that the ritual to the west has failed, and Blood Lord Thalonus himself has fallen. Under the weight of these tragedies, there are some among you who would surrender to their faith, cease their devotion, and abandon our great cause. This will not be tolerated. You must maintain your fealty or find yourself hanged and drained with the rest of the faithless rabble. This is merely another in a long series of tribulations that line our path to greatness. Chthon challenges us, tests our faith, but we must not falter. You, the unyielding children of blood, must seek out the weakest among you and punish them for their faltering will. Thalonus is gone, but another will rise in his place, and faithful shall be rewarded in kind. For devotion to Chthon and dedication to our cause, we will find our way once more. See how that works for you. Calling to shadows, we are as lost children, alone, purposeless, gazing into the darkness with only faith as our guide. We flay our flesh and paint the world in blood as we desperately seek clarity from the depths of the void, but there is no answer. We beseech you, fiends of the void, heed our call and bathe this world in shadow. Come forth, progenitor of darkness, guide the children of blood to new glory, that we may all become one with Chthon. Guide us, Ezekzul, so that we may purge this world of the faithless. Kabbalist Gull. What is this? Malformed effigy. Blueprint. Reckoning. I already know that one. Citadel. Okay. And let's see, anything else? Oh, Dreeg's Affliction. Is there anything else hanging around here? It's hard to see. We gotta go and put some stuff in the stash here. Are you the stash person?
Safe storage. No
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Alright. Let's do that. Did it take everything from all the tabs? I think it does. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it does. Alright. Codex of Scorching. Fire damage to Blackwater Cocktail. Burn damage to Blackwater Cocktail. Ooh. This requires 490 spirit, though. I mean, almost there. But this is an offhand, though. And I am dual wielding, so... That's what I say to that. Hellfire Hand Mortar. So empowered mutiny. Acid damage as opposed to fire damage. I don't know about that. I've pretty much keened myself on fire damage here. Amanda Green's hand cannon. 15 to 24 fire damage. That sucks. That really sucks. Okay. And DPS is bad on that one too. Now this one has 316 damage per second on the main hand. That's doing physical damage versus fire damage. But it does give you more movement speed. So there's that. Okay, so let's go. Actually, I guess I'm holding on to these. Fine Ring of the Basilisk. We'll sell that. Skyreach Sash. Plus 37 to offensive ability. 1 to 218 lightning retaliation. Plus 32% to all retaliation damage. Okay, we need 356. Oh, we're our physique is 1 off. We're 1 off on the physique for that one. Okay, well this is definitely a good one to keep around. We need 491 physique for that one. I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. Let's go. Let's put that away. Void Forged Battle Plate. That looks fantastic, but you need 645 physique for that. And I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. Got a skeleton key. I'll just put these away, even though, honestly, I could probably just sell them. Wraith Stalker Band. Doesn't really look all that great. Throw it up in there. Greens we'll just sell. This needs 356 physique as well. That's hilarious. Not as good as the other one I just pointed out though, so just throw these in here. I'm just going to get rid of the axe. This one is not really any good for me right now. This one is, this one's not. So probably sell that one. Quick draw gloves are better than those, I think, right now. Yeah. Heavy boots. That fire and burn damage would be really good on that. That requires 429 physique. We're way off from that. Way off from that. Keep this up here. Sell those. What is this? This is a set piece. So I'm just going to put that in here just because it's a set piece. Yeah, we'll sell that. We'll sell that. We can sell this because I already have it. Epic Caster Helm. Yeah. So these are set. Keep those. Slayer's Mark. No, I think all the rest of these can just be sold off. Yeah, it looks like most of these can be too. Even those boots are not really worth it, from what I can tell. This is a set, so we'll put that in there. Energy regenerate per second. Elemental resistance, fire damage, burn damage. 575 spirit. Yeah, see, the problem is this is good for my character, but at the same time, it's an offhand, so, and I'm like dual wielding, and I kind of like the dual wielding, so can't really use that. And this, I think we can just sell. Okay, so most of these I think we can sell off right now, if I can find a
see what's left of my wares.
A vendor here, so let's just sell those and get our inventory cleared up. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of those too. Do that. No. These I will... That one I can get rid of. This one I'll hold on to because I've done things to it, but the rest can just go. Yeah, okay. I think that is good. Let's sort that. Okay, good. That clears out our inventory quite nicely. Invisible helm. 100% of the protection with 0% of the weight. That's interesting. Invisible shoulder guards. Invisible metal. Soulbound. But how long does that last for? I don't know how long that lasts for. Because, well, that's interesting. I don't... How... Right click to use. I don't... I assume it's... I assume it is only for a couple, like for a minute or two, probably. Interesting. Oh, you know what? We're respected level, so I can actually buy some blueprints from them. Oops, those were already learned. Let's go. Sell that back. Okay.
Put it to good use.
Fervor. Hysteria. Coven Vial. Waste Guard. And Lethal Waste Guard. Okay.
See anything you like?
Anything else here? All these say that they're learned. Okay. Good. Some chest guards and whatnot. So what do we need? We need 5,000 to get to the next one up, which has the writs and stuff. Okay. All right. Awesome. I haven't been doing anything in the game, so I haven't like been grinding for rep or anything like that, so I have to get back to that at some point, I imagine. But right now, wow, we got... I'm just realizing how many active quests I've got on the right side there. So enter the Malmouth sewers and search for survivors. So I'm trying to remember where exactly... where exactly I was at. So we're all the way up to the Malmouth outskirts. And we have to enter the sewers. Right, so I guess that's what we're doing. Okay. Flame Tarn's reached rank 10. Nice. Alright. Our abilities are ranking up. It's always good to see. Look at all those numbers. Those delicious, delicious numbers. Very nice. Actually, almost to level 60 too, so that's good. Oh, there's level 60 right there. Speaking of... There's a quest thing up here. Oh, that's the sewers. We're supposed to go into, right? Alright, let's go do that. Why not? We'll just pick something. Begin inevitable sewer level. Wow, I'm kind of ripping and tearing through these guys. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, if that asset would go away, thank you very much. Guess I should probably level up too while I'm thinking about it. So what was I doing here? I think I was just pushing my demolition stuff up further so I could get to something over here. Mortar trap, high impacts. Was there something? Yeah, I think it was like one of these out here. Like thermite mine or something. What does that do? The mine scale with player damage bonuses drops a trio of small but deadly pyrotechnic charges that will sear enemies with intense jets of flame. Okay. Then Hellfire Mine. Half pyrotechnics, half alchemy. This lethal improvement to the thermite mine causes it to scorch enemies with unearthly flame that sears the very being. Sears it. Like a hamburger patty. Flame broiled. That's what I'll just name. I should have named my character that. Just flame broiled. I didn't think about it till now. Elzwin's Chosen. Those who have sacrificed much in pursuit of pyrotechnics eventually come to the favored by Olzuin, receiving his blessing in wreaking fiery devastation upon the world. Affects stun attacks, grenado, and canister bomb, and requires one to unlock. Okay. So that's why it's on this level, right? Canister bomb. I gotcha. I gotcha. Agonizing flames. Intensifies the fire and hell flame to degrees that will render your enemies to ashes. I like the sound of that. Yeah, let's just put 2 points in here and just try to get us up to where we can actually unlock those. I don't have any devotion points, do I? I do. I do have a devotion point. God, every time I look at the screen, I'm like, where the frick do I go? Every single time, without fail. Physical damage, offensive ability. 5% of attack damage converted to health. That sounds pretty good. Let's do that. Let's do that. So I just downloaded a bunch more games over onto my little Linux box. Games that I want to kind of revisit. Like I'm using my main, like Grim Dawn here is on my main computer, but I'm using my main computer for games that, like, you know, I'll finish, you know, in this lifetime. And you know, because what happens is, you know, I download a lot of demos and stuff when there's Steam demo days and things like that, and having to uninstall things that, you know, long running games that I know that, you know, I'm going to come back to over and over and over again, gets a little bit annoying because I have to do that just to free up space. So I'm trying to take the long running games that I know that I'm going to revisit over time and put them on the Linux box. And so I've over there I've put like Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which I intend on getting or playing at some point, getting back to it. I've put what is the name of Space Trucker over there, which I played a little bit of, and I was like, no, I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to this when I feel like it more. And I feel like that kind of game is going to be one like I just kind of do every so often. So I got Space Trucker there. Helium Rain is another one that is a really long game, but it's one that I would like to revisit on occasion. I played through it on the regular YouTube channel. I don't know if I streamed any of it, but I played through it on the regular YouTube channel as a Let's Play. I think back in 2018. And I never quite finished it. It's one of those games where there's a lot of time investment you have to do with it. It's a space game, as you might imagine from the title, the Helium Rain. But it's in many ways it's and I say this with all the love in my heart. It's a Wish.com X4 Foundations in many ways. You can actually, believe it or not, this kind of blew me away. You can actually get it for free now. The developer had charged money for it at one point in time. I had bought it, and then I think they realized they couldn't support it anymore. They didn't have the time to really, like, it's a finished game, but there were still, you know, a lot of bugs, and you know, they had planned on doing more content and stuff, but they just didn't have time to do it. And so, as I guess more of a mea culpa than anything else, they released the source code for it and made it free, made it completely free on Steam, so you can actually just install it now, which is kind of cool. And then I found out that relatively recently, like last year, a modder went in and has begun updating the game. Like, fixing a lot of long-standing bugs and doing some performance enhancements and kind of other things with it. It's done in the like Unreal 4 engine. Um, and I think it was 4. It might have been Unreal 5 even. It's recent enough, but I think it was Unreal 4 it was done in. Um, and so I kind of want to download that and see what improvements were made to it and whatnot, and kind of get back into that. That's another one of those sort of really cozy stream kind of things. I'm trying to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to build up my stamina when it comes to, again, I say this lovingly, visually boring games. Um like it's not even that they're visually boring. Just games that are that don't that games that require the user to give them a story, I guess, is kind of the best way I can put that. So like your simulator games, your Elite Dangerouses, your Star Citizens, your um, uh, you know, truck simulators, your hauling simulators, and things like that. Um, and I kind of want to sort of, I want to learn how to stream those games because I think, and this is just based on what my limited experience like with watching those kinds of games on Steam or on Twitch and whatnot. Um, I feel like there's a surprisingly large, and I say large from a small streamer perspective, community that actually just kind of likes to have them on in the background while they play the game or play a different game or whatnot. Like there's like it's like when I was a kid, um, I'd come home from school and I'd have to do homework. I would I couldn't do homework unless I had a TV on behind me. I couldn't even do it with the radio. It had to be the TV going, which is I guess kind of weird, but I just needed that sort of. And what I did was I positioned myself so that my back was to the TV, and then I do some homework, and then I would, something would go on the TV, and I would just kind of like turn around and every so often and just engage with it for a couple minutes to have like a little break from whatever I was doing, and then treacherous domain here. And then I'd get right back to it. And I find like even now, all these years later, when I'm doing work and stuff, like I like to have like music on as I'm doing it. Like I kind of, for some reason, I can concentrate more with it. And so I find it interesting that a lot of people who are just playing any game, like may not even be the same game that you're playing, will put on a stream in the background while they're playing their game. And I've even done that too for a lot of things where like when I'm playing Elite Dangerous, I usually have someone else's stream up and I'm just listening to that. And not necessarily even an Elite Dangerous stream, just any stream. And usually you have someone who's not like screaming and yelling, obviously, someone that's relatively chill. Because that would be a little too distracting. But I find that helps a lot. And is enjoyable in its own right, and so I'm kind of, given how we'll be kind here and say low key, I generally am. It feels like that's right up in my alleyway. Um, and you know, I like playing story based games, obviously, and I have a ton of them I want to play, and I especially love RPGs and whatnot. But it would be, ooh, okay, this guy is quite the stunner. Oh yeah, he is a red majigger. Okay. All right. Let's not get any more stuns on us, please. Thank you. Okay, that is just downright cheating. Hey, where are you going? I'm not done with you. Come back here, you bastard. Well, see, that's not cool. It's like, he's doing like a stone cold stunner on me or something here. That's not great. I cannot
Skill's not ready.
get away from that either. He is just always finding me. No matter what I do there.
Can't do that yet.
There we go. Crush the mountain achievement. What was crush the mountain? Where's my, I don't like game recording. Where's my achievements? There we go. Slay Galacros, the mountain in the Mammoth Sewers. Oh, okay. I did not realize he was special enough to get his own achievement. He didn't really give me anything good though. It's kind of a little bitch when it came to came to loot here. Didn't really get anything decent off of him. So yeah, I ultimately want to see if I can sort of improve my stamina when it comes to that kind of thing. Like being able to stream what are ostensibly not what would you even call it? I keep wanting to say not sustainable, not story sustainable, but all that sounds very unkind, and it's not what I'm going for. Just games that are, I guess, more casual. Although I don't know if that is almost insulting too, right? Because a lot of people, you know, enjoy the heck out of those games, and they're not really. I wouldn't call them casuals. Not without, you know, without running away very quickly from them in the process. um, but we'll see. You know what, too? So here's something else, and this is, I don't know what has happened, but I've been going over my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, and going back and looking at the playlist. Now, I was very diligent over the years of putting Let's Plays and stuff in playlists, and I swear that YouTube has lost some of those playlists. Like, I mean, there's about. I just looked today, and there's like. I want to say I have about 100 playlists, maybe slightly more. But I feel like I've played far more games than that through to completion. I mean, maybe I'm just getting old and you know, I've thought I did more than, it feels like I've been doing this for 900 years and it's really not been, but like I swear I had more than that because I know at one point in time, I don't know how many videos I have now, but I know at one point in time I had like over 1,000 videos. I remember hitting 1,000 videos at one point. Now a lot of those, I mean, there's two like playlists that are super huge, where I look, which has all my one-off, all of my first impressions videos, and those have a lot of videos in them. Like I used to call it, when I first started out doing the first impression stuff, I used to call it side quests. And I did that for two reasons. One, I thought it was kind of cute because, I like RPGs, and my main channel content was long form Let's Plays, which, in RPG parlance would be the main quest, right? And then I have a series of these sort of one-off videos where I'm looking at brand new games or previews and stuff like that. And so I called them side quests. That was one reason. The other reason was at the time that I was, oh, we got friendlies here. At the time I was doing it, the late great Total Biscuit was still in his prime, and he called his series WTF Is, and he was very adamant that he was doing first impressions and stuff, and I was like, I don't really want to call my thing first impressions because I don't want it to seem like I'm leeching off of him. So that was another reason why I was like, I'll just call them side quests. And then what happened was, well, two things. One is that I kept getting comments like from people that didn't understand why I was calling things side quests. They thought something else was going on. They thought I was just looking at the side quests in various games, which I can understand the thought process there. Although you would think it'd be pretty obvious at some point when I'm doing demos and stuff that I'm not looking at all the side quests and something. But anyway, it's YouTube. What can you do? But then also like Total Biscuit passed away, and I was like, well, okay, now I feel a little less. I feel a little bit better calling things first impressions again. So it's not, I'm not leeching off of someone else. So I have two very large playlists, one that's called Side Quests and one that's called First Impressions. And I think both of those have like 500 videos in them, something like that. Or, well, no, Side Quest I think has like 300 and something, and I think First Impressions has like 500 videos in it. If I remember correctly from what I just saw a couple hours ago, which my memory being what it is probably not very reliable. But beyond that, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like some of my playlists have disappeared, but I can't tell which ones because, again, my memory sucks. So I'm like, what am I missing? Where are things at? Because I was going through the list, like trying to come up with a list of all the games that I've played through, either to completion or almost to completion, and I keep being like, man, I swear I did more than this.
You better have a damn good reason to be here before I assume you're just another ethereal. You're not from Malmouth, though. I'd know. Speak. Why are you here?
I've been sent here to help.
Eh? You and what army? The city's been overrun. Our people are scattered, dead, or worse, taken into the fleshworks.
Black Legion is on its way.
The Black Legion? They survived the carnage in the capital? I suppose if anyone was gonna pull through, you could count on the Emperor's finest. How do they plan to get here? The docks are destroyed. Aether fire surrounds us.
The way is secure. We just need a new way inside the city.
I don't know what that means, but if it's true, the best way into the city proper would be through the Candle District. The bridge was raised following the attacks, but the controls should still function. If you find a way to lower it, then the Legion can enter.
Sounds like a start.
So, this is what's left of the Resistance then. We're going to need the Legion. Wait, did I just say that? Somer must have rubbed off on me.
Wilfer mentioned bridge controls.
Yes, that will suffice to let Creed's troops pour into the city proper. You will have to make your way through the Candle District, a more pleasant name for the city's slums. I don't expect it will be enjoyable. Carve your way through whatever horrors the Ethereals have waiting, and bring down that bridge. In the meantime, I'll try to get what information I can out of these people. Figure out what we're dealing with.
All right, I'll do it. Also, you have another thing
If
to
you're
say?
serious about heading out into the Candle District, which I don't recommend, then there's something you could do to cement our trust.
All right.
The Ethereals do more than just slaughter us. That much is apparent. They've been gathering the dead and transporting them to Crown Hill. To what end? Just take a look at the mutated brutes roaming the city. We're just fuel for their experiments, material for their army. And I will not stand for another human being used this way.
Sorry.
The ethereal gathering efforts are concentrated around the Candle District, where the fighting was thickest. If you head out there, destroy their despicable corpse wagons.
All right, I'll destroy the wagons. Hit the mic there for a second.
Well.
Apologies. And then this guy is our... Oh, so this is another safe area, relatively. Because we got that guy there wanting me to do the other DLC. We got some new music playing. Oh, very nice. These heathenist fiends have no respect for a hardworking man. Who's that? This damn thing's up in the city. First they tore my shop. I had to work out of a tent. Then they came and tore up my tent, dented and bent all my damn tools. Even put out my fire. That thing's been burning for 20 years. Now I'm left to hide in the sewer without a single tool to my name. I'm sure the resistance could use some help. Look now, when it comes down to it, I'll do whatever it takes to help out. But without a good tool and a hot flame, there really ain't much I could do. That's what happens when you spend 30 years learning how to pound iron. Once I get a fire going, then I'll be able to help. We'll find you a place to work. It's so boring down here. There's nothing to play with. At least you're safe. Who cares about that when there's nothing to do? I might just die of boredom down here. That said, having no parents around was going to be a ton of fun, but... Or Thad said... I thought it said that. Thad said having no parents around was going to be a ton of fun, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Where are your parents? They're dead, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I don't care. They weren't any fun either. When the fighting broke out in the slums now, that was a ton of fun to watch. All the people down there were trying to escape. They tried to climb up over the walls in the Crown Hill, but the guards wouldn't let them. Some nearly made it and got thrown off. Splat! That's terrible. I like how one of the responses was, that's you're pretty what bad off. Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants with the armor and weapons. You'll just die like everybody else. Excuse me? You heard me. You're going to go up there and die like everyone else. It doesn't matter how much armor you've got on. The monsters will get you. What happened to you, kid? Dad's face turns red with anger. Nothing. It doesn't matter. Suit yourself. I sure hope you're here to help. Otherwise, we don't really need another mouth to feed. Is it bad down here? Well, I suppose we're safe. That's as much as anyone can ask for after the attack on the surface. But I don't think I'll live through another one of that old drunk's stories. Whose stories? Garund. He fancies himself some sort of hero because he got into a few bar fights when he was younger. Must have been a long time before I was born because I've never heard of him. The way he talks, I'm starting to think they should send him up to the surface to take back the city. I have half a mind to head up there myself just to get away from him. It must be better down here than up in the city. You're right, of course it is. Having something to complain about just keeps my mind off the horrors up there. That makes sense. Do you hear that? Tell me you can hear it too. I don't hear anything. I must be going crazy. I can hear it so clearly. An old woman speaking to me as if she was right here with us. What does she say? I don't know the language she's speaking, but I feel like she's calling to me. I see her in my dreams too. I don't know what to do to rid myself of her. You should try talking back. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Then everyone else down here will think I'm crazy. Well, don't worry about them. They'll just think you have an imaginary friend. Did you come over here to make me go back and play with the other kids? No, what's wrong with the other kids? They're evil. They just keep making fun of me because my parents are dead. Dad says my mummy is a monster now and she's going to come and get me when I sleep. Well, that's pretty terrible, but you're safe down here. What do you mean? Is mommy really a monster? Is she really coming to get me? Yeah, probably. Terrible. No, the other kids are lying to you. You really think so? It doesn't matter anyway. They're never going to stop making fun of me. Yeah, probably not. I should have said, oh, I'll go talk to them. But honestly, kids are dicks. They're not going to stop because an adult talked to them. Too old to fight, too frail to make a difference. That's what they're all thinking. So I keep all Garund down here with the wounded and the kids. Well, I tell you, Garund's still got some fight left in him. Used to fight? That's right. Was the best damn soldier for miles. Garund the stalwart, Garund Hammerfist, Garund the unstoppable. That's what they used to call me. None of those ring any bells. Well, Garund the old drunk is all they call me these days, but I ain't had a drink since the city was attacked. Who needs the sauce with all this madness going around? I thought maybe the city guard could use my skills, so I put down the bottle. Used to be a soldier, you know, till I took an arrow to the knee. Oh wait, that's a different game. Or did I tell you that already? Don't make no difference. It weren't soldiering that made me famous anyway. I was also the best damn bar fighter this city ever saw. You were legendary for getting into bar fights? You bet your hide I was. There weren't a man in this city that could stop Garund in his prime. So what happened? Well, it's a long story, but let's just say there was one fight old Garund didn't win. Okay, I thought you were unstoppable. Well, it weren't no man that beat Garund. It was the bottle. Side effect of fighting in bars, I guess. She's a mean mistress, the bottle. She'll make a strong man weak and a weak man think he can conquer the world. There's also, I imagine, some manhood problems, too, that come with that. You see, things went pretty bad for old Garund after the captain of the guard found him all sauced up trying to sneak his way back into the barracks. Long story short, Garund's been living down here ever since. You mean since the Ethereals attacked? No, ain't you listening? This here's Garund's house. Been living down here for years. Who do you think it was that told Corinna about this place? So you rescued all these people. Suppose you could say that, though I don't think the city guard would admit an old drunk had helped them out. See, you aren't so useless after all. And that was the positive response.
I'll keep your stash safe.
Okay, let's, those over there. And
I'll hold on to that for you.
we can now craft Calidor's vestments. Oh, I have a point here. Let's get the point. Oh, my physique already went up. Which means I can use this gun here. So I need to put Oh, what puts fireball on there? Oh, you know what? I don't have a damn. I don't know if there's a. I don't think there's an armor smith down here.
See anything you like?
Let's just sell some things first.
Put it to good
There.
use.
And you are?
Corinia? I'm with Black Legion, here to help.
The Black Legion? Where were they when the city burned? Where were they when our people were forced to flee into the sewers? Where were they when we watched our children get turned into monsters?
You sure your name isn't Karen? I'm sorry, the attacks happen everywhere.
That may be true, but do not expect me to leap for joy because of empty gestures. If you are here to help, then act.
Well, all right then, Mrs. Bossy Pants.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Mammoth Resistance, Tolerate. Okay, so we have another... Man, this game has so many factions. And I'm fine with that. I'm happy that there's so many factions in this game. But man, there's so many factions in this game that I wasn't expecting. All right. Cool. I mean, it just means... You know what, though? It makes a lot of sense that they put so many factions in a game because that is really kind of sort of the end game, one of the end game tasks, right? Which is just like grind out faction rep and get all the stuff. So it makes sense because they you gain access to some pretty badass things. So that's cool. I like it. I actually really like it. Unfortunately, I can't use the bounty table yet because I'm only tolerated. I am merely tolerated. Thus, my life has been explained in one word. Yeah, they don't have... I don't want to teleport away. I mean, there's a thing here that I can come back to. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's go back to I'll just go back to whatchamajoosit, Devil's Crossing, and we'll grab the I'll put whatever I need to put on this whatchamajoosit.
I do the best I can with what I've got.
Okay, so what do I have on here? I have flint core bolts. Flint core bolts. And I think it's this one. Yeah, okay. Accessories. Components. Flint core bolts. Greater fire blast granted by item. Launch a ball of incinerating flame at your target. Yes. So get that. And is there any... There's nothing better than flint core bolts, is there? Just out of curiosity. How's Bane ammo? That's electrifying. Molten skin is fire resistance. Searing ember is less than the flint core bolts, right? 4 to 6. I wish I could filter based on... Or maybe I can. Can I filter based on fire damage? Ooh, I can. Thank you, game. Thank you for being reasonable, game. I appreciate that. Enchanted Flint is 4 to 6. Gives you burning weapons. Empower your attacks with blazing flame. Buffs are automatically activated. So you got Enchanted Flint. It's 4 to 6. Flint Core Bolt is 4 to 6 with 15 damage over. So this is plus 25% fire and burn. 10% physical damage converted to fire damage. Which this does physical, right? So that might actually be better for this one because it'll take, if I'm reading this correctly, it'll take 10% of the physical damage that this gun is doing and convert it to fire damage. 150 energy reserved. 94 fire damage. 15% chance of 1,095 burn damage over 3 seconds. And then bonus to all pets. What's the searing ember? 2 to 4, molten skin. Radiant gem is, that's elemental. Oh, there's fire resistance on it. I see. Okay. Burn duration. So, let me see here. If I do, this is 46 to 77. Physical damage. So what are we doing on there? 7 to 9, 8 to 9 fire damage. Burn damage. That's got 13% physical damage converted to fire damage. Ring of Flame. Okay. Flint Core Bolts. Burn damage. Chance of stun target. See, the Flint Core Bolts also have a chance of stunning the target. And these only have a chance of burn damage over 3 seconds. Oh, these are also a chance of burn. Okay. 135, 1,095. Wait, what do these have on them? Flint Core Bolts. So the Flint Core Bolts have 100% chance of 3180 burn damage over 3 seconds, and these have, these don't have that. Okay. Well, let's put a, I'll put a Flint Core Bolt on there. So what does that give me now? So 4 to 6 fire damage, burn damage, fire damage, burn damage, physical damage, greater fire blasts. Flame. I think I get the Ring of Flame from my devotion things, so I think that always goes on the main hand weapon. Question mark. So that having the more attack speed and movement speed is definitely a good thing. It also increases my armor by 9%. I'm just realizing that. Plus 2 to military conditioning and all skills in soldier, which don't apply to me, unfortunately. Okay. Energy regeneration by 11%. Okay. So if I put this on my main hand, this is my main hand, right? I think this is my main hand. Oh no, okay, Ring of Flame is attached to that one. Interesting. Okay. Let me check that. Let's come out of here.
Go on now.
And where's my, is it skills? Yeah, here we go. Twin Fangs, Flame Tart. Guess I don't have another one. Hey, Outlaw, welcome on in. How are you doing? Huh, okay. Isn't there's a dummy around. Let's chilling out. I'm doing good. I am doing good. I'm relaxing. Having some fun. Oh, you know what? The dummies are out here. Okay. I think we're still good there with our weapons and stuff. Yeah. Let's go, just in case. I'm gonna just put this one away. I'm not gonna
Got something you need stashed?
disassemble it or anything. I'm just gonna put it away in case I have buyer's remorse here.
Safe with me.
Oh, also, we can wear this sash now. What do I have? I have anti-venom salve on the other one. Storm Surge. You call the heavens in times of dire need, charging with devastating electrical power. Lightning Retaliation. Activates when health drops below 33%. Okay. Alright, so we'll get this. Let's do the anti-venom.
Safe storage, no questions asked.
Do I have that here? Wait, what was it called? Anti-venom salve. Okay. I guess we gotta craft that.
It's safe with me.
Let's go craft that.
Hey, got any more scrap metal?
Okay, so now 10 health regenerate per second, plus 24 armor, poison acid resistance. Okay, let's put this on. Awesome, and then this needs 429 physique. All right, let's put some more physique on there.
Don't get killed out there.
Got something you need
And
stashed?
we'll put this away over here for now. And I guess invisible helm, I don't know. I want to use it, but at the same time I don't because it was expensive. I want to see what it does. Let's see what that does. So, Grim Dawn, Invisible Helm. Doesn't tell me anything. That's just the database. Invisible armor. Can anyone tell me how? Oh, all. Oh, oh, okay. So all it does is it just makes your armor invisible on your character. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm like, I was hoping it would be like it adds to your already existing armor, but that's all it does is it just hides the armor. Change armor look like armor you prefer look of. Make a piece of armor and your character invisible. Okay. All right. That's also kind of funny. It's not exactly what I was expecting, but that's also kind of funny. So it just makes it so that if you don't like if there's a piece of armor you're wearing that you don't like, you can hide it on your character. Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I thought it was some kind of badass like combination that you can combine with existing armor, but it's not. That's all right. That's all right. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'll admit that. A little bit disappointed, but at the same time, it's okay. I understand where they're coming from. Okay. Cool. Sewer hideout. So we've done. I have the new weapon equipped. So I guess it's time to go murder some things. Make sure we see everything here, though. Sorry, but no one is allowed to go beyond this point until Korinia gives the go-ahead. What's this way anyway? A war zone. The Steel Cap District used in the city center of industry and one of Cairn's largest shipping ports. Now it's just a pile of rubble for the most part. We held a fortification up there until a couple of weeks ago. The ethereal scum made a big push, surprised us in the middle of the night. We were overwhelmed in a matter of minutes. Without Korinia, we would have been doomed. She took command and ordered a full retreat down here into the sewers and found this place for us to hide. I think we can hold it well enough. But if we really want to fight back, we need to retake our base up there. If you want to get up there, you need to speak with Korinia. Okay, let's find her. Alright, so we'll get there. We will get there. Let's get into the Candle District. Crying out loud, pick up the crystal. I'd say this is still doing pretty good. Boy, it's really hard to navigate. Come on. Come on. There you go. There we go. So another, I was looking through the Steam library. Another game coming out on the 24th, question mark? Is Expedition 33. It's like Candle Obscura Expedition 33 or something like that. That looks rather interesting. I've actually pre-ordered that. And I'm kind of curious to see what that is like, because it looked fairly interesting. I mean, it's an RPG, but it's got, if I'm not mistaken, it's an RPG with, I might be thinking of something different though now that I think about it. I think it was an RPG with like quick time events, kind of. Yeah, I might be thinking of something else though, but I think that's the one that had like the quick time events during combat. I don't actually remember now. I have that kind of in my brain as something else. Get back, you fiend, or I'll slay you where you stand. These children are mine. Yours? What do you mean yours? I mean, you're not going anywhere near them. Calm down. I don't mean any harm. And what? I'm supposed to trust you with all those things roaming around out there, collecting children, doing God knows what with them? You could be one of them for all I know. I'm not one of those monsters. And I suppose you came here to save us or something like that. There's a refuge in the sewers. I can get you there. Just like that, you run here and expect me to let you take us somewhere? I've been protecting these kids since the night the city was attacked, and I'm not about to put them in someone else's hands. Not now, not after all we've been through. What choice do you have? What choice do we have? I don't know. I suppose you're right. I don't know how much longer I can hold out. Maybe a little faith in humanity is all we got left? How are you planning to get us out of here? I can open a rift gate. A what? No way. There's no way we're going in one of those things. You'll be fine. It's like, yeah, screw you. You'll be fine. And then just whisk them away. Because it feels like, speaking of the Expedition 33 thing, it seems like that's going to be an interesting story. And I'm not... the art style is not necessarily endearing to me, but the more dynamic, almost action RPG-ness of it was definitely interesting, and the premise of the story seemed pretty interesting. So where it's a you basically anyone, I think it was like anyone over the age of 33 just disappears. And then every year that number keeps going down, and so finally they're like, yeah, we need to send somebody out to figure out what the heck's going on. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it a whirl and see if I like it. At least see if it's something that should go on the list with everything else. The thing is, I think we'll see what we're up to. I mean, I think this is going to be one of those things where I just play it for a day, just for one stream, and then come back to it at a different time, which is always a weird thing because it's like, you want to get back to it soon, but I know just from how much is on my list that soon is not exactly a doable thing. Go. That stuff. I also want to, it reminds me too, I want to get back to Nightingale at some point as well, because I was really enjoying that. But see, that's kind of the other thing is like, that's still early access. And it's like, how much of a game in early access should you play? When it's a story-based game. Like if it's something like a factory building game like Satisfactory or something like that, yeah, I could see playing the heck out of it, right? When it's like story based, like how much of that do you want to play only to know that you're going to come back to it and start it over from the beginning again, right? And that's kind of the rub there. I like things that are in early access, certainly, but at the same time, there's so many games that are not in early access that deserve some attention. And I'm noticing this a lot too with the bigger streamers, is that a lot of them have gotten away from doing indie stuff. And I think some of that is just due to the whole, like, we're still reaping the results of the pandemic kind of thing. You know, everything was just going full speed ahead. But I also, like, indies haven't stopped going full speed ahead either. And I'm finding more and more that there's not a lot of big name streamers who are spending any kind of time doing indie stuff, which could be a good thing. I mean, that opens an opportunity for some of the smaller streamers to do stuff, but it also means that there's only so much reach a smaller streamer has. And so a lot of these really good games just don't get their don't get spotlighted like they deserve, I guess. And that, I mean, but there's also the other shoe on that foot is the a lot of them are still looking for that big score, right? They're advertising themselves to the streamers with the most views, the higher average view counts, and not really catering to the smaller streamers who probably will spend more time and have more feedback. And so it's kind of a catch-22 there, right? Where, you know, I'm sure the devs want to spend that kind of time with the smaller streamers, but at the same time, they're not going to get the sales numbers from that that they would if they got just one big streamer to discover them. Where was that other... wasn't there a road here that I couldn't... How do I get over... There was like another ethereal crystal that was down on the sidewalk there that I couldn't get to from where I was. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter all that much. We went from getting a ton of XP to barely getting anything. This music is fantastic, though. It's very muted, but it's still, and more so than any of the other music in the game, and it's so fitting. I was thinking about, speaking about the games and stuff, I was thinking about the problems I've been having with Assassin's Creed Shadows, like trying to enjoy it, whereas other people are really enjoying it. And I'm wondering if I'm not just suffering from Assassin's Creed fatigue, because yeah, it's been a while since, you know, like Valhalla was the last one I played. And it's been, well, no, I'm sorry, not Valhalla, the other one that came after that, Mirage. Mirage was the last one I played. And that was last year, right? And there was a gap of time between that and Valhalla. And I'm wondering if I'm not just suffering from Assassin's Creed fatigue, right? Because Valhalla was the capstone of my big franchise playthrough of the game. So I played like every game I could get my hands on, including all the Chronicles games. Nearly back to back. I mean, I took a little bit of a break between some of the titles, but not very long. And I'm wondering if a lot of the people who are really enjoying it and who've enjoyed a lot of the Assassin's Creed stuff are enjoying it more because they haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while. Like the whole absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just kind of it's so fresh in my mind that I'm seeing all the mechanics that they took from the previous games and that I wasn't particularly enthralled about in the first place, and they just continued to utilize them. I mean, to be fair, the stuff that they stole, the stuff that they repurposed from Valhalla, they've made better to an extent. Like, you know, it doesn't feel like they copy pasted longhouses all over the map with very little iteration, very little changes between them. And they kind of, you know, improve that slightly. You know, and the resource, because, you know, part of it is that resource grind. And you had AC fatigue halfway through Valhalla. Yeah, right. And Valhalla was I think Valhalla was felt longer than it really was because it was so samey as you went along. You know what I mean? And at least with Shadows, it looks like they've changed some of that. They made it so that, you know, even though you're still, you know, it's one pagoda after another pagoda after another pagoda, they have at least changed them up a little bit, enough to make them slightly more interesting than the literal copy pastes they had in Valhalla of the different forts. But it's, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just struggling to explain why it doesn't resonate with me. And I also have to acknowledge there's one thing that's kind of bothered me about modern discourse on like movies and games and all that stuff. And that is like the idea that you have to have a reason for not liking something. Right? Like I've always kind of rallied against that. Like sometimes sometimes something just doesn't resonate with you, and that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. It just doesn't grab you, and there's no rhyme or reason as to why it doesn't grab you. It just doesn't. And I'm feeling that way with Shadows, but at the same time, you hurt quite a bit. But at the same time, I feel obligated to have a reason. Because, you know, I'm doing the whole streamer thing. And I'm doing the YouTube thing. And it's like... It's like it kind of comes with the territory, right? Where people are naturally going to ask you... are naturally going to want you to qualify why you don't like something. And that's kind of my struggle here right now, is like there's something about it that just bothers me.
That skill's not ready.
Oh, come on. This guy has me blocked in here. Come on. That's not fair. There we go, got him. And we got an achievement. yeah, I don't know. What was the achievement? Knock knock, slay Balag, keeper of the gates at the Malmouth Bridge. Okay. Because, you know, if I take a step back and I look at what I'm complaining about when it comes to that game, when it comes to AC Shadows, like, it's really, there's no mechanics there that weren't already done in other games. Like, literally. I mean, there's like every mechanic in that game. Well, with the exception of there's one exception there, and that's the knowledge point system. Everything else has been taken from other games in the series. Like, the combat is reminiscent of Unity, which I didn't really particularly like the combat in Unity, but you know, it is what it is. The inventory management is straight from Valhalla. The leveling up of the inventory is a little bit different. There's shades of that in there were shades of it in Unity, and I think there were shades of it in Syndicate a little bit. Although it wasn't as like RPG as they have it. Like right now it's like you literally are upgrading the levels of it. And I guess they did have it in, they had something like it in Valhalla, but with Valhalla it was more, it was more the power level of your gear, not the true level. Now we're getting more of an RPG thing where it's like the level of your gear, and it's, you know, the attributes go up by a certain percentage amount. And then the knowledge point system, it makes sense as a what's the word I'm looking for? It makes sense as a upgrade, quote unquote, to the way Valhalla did things, the way the rest of this series did things. But what it has a knock-on effect of forcing you, if you really want to get all of your skills, if you don't want to be constantly behind the curve, and you want to get your assassin skills or your blade skills and all that stuff, it sort of forces you to do side quests. And the side quests are basically as boring as the ones in Valhalla, right? Where it's just like, collect 3 pages. I mean, and to be fair, it was like as boring as the ones in like Black Flag and 3, and not so much 2, but in 3 definitely, where it's like, just go collect, you know, sea shanties, or go collect these pages, or go collect this or that or the other thing. They're just fetch quests, or kill 3 of this elite enemy type, right? Which was another one from Valhalla, right? So, whereas Valhalla made those pretty much completely optional, they've now sort of forced you to kind of do some of them, which I'm not entirely on board with, because it's like you're now being kind of forced to do side quests that are, you know, as rote and boring as they could possibly be. So that's another sort of, I think, a misstep on their part with it. But you know, I don't know. I have to play more of it. I mean, I'm not going to let the game defeat me. Let's put it that way. If I have to play, I mean, I might even play like parts of the main quests, like off camera if I need to. But I will not I will not let the game defeat me, because I've played every single game, and I swear to God, I will not allow this one latest iteration to get the better of me. Even if I have to pull what I did with Assassin's Creed 3 and just mainline the story as much as I possibly can.
I was beginning to lose hope, but you pulled through. What's the situation here?
We found survivors in the sewers.
We? I take it there's some good news then. I will need to speak to this resistance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Oh, is there a portal back here? Yeah. Oh, this looped us right back around again. Cool. This is where we started the stream. Alright, let's go back into the sewers.
Well, you weren't lying about the Legion arriving. But have you sabotaged the ethereal efforts in the Candle District?
Apparently I did. I didn't call destroying the wagons, but I did. It is done. The wagons are destroyed.
I had you figured all wrong. The Legion at our doorstep and the wagons destroyed all in one day. Here, some iron bits for your efforts. It's the least I could do in return.
Just doing my part.
I can't believe the Black Legion is actually here. Maybe we stand a chance after all. Maybe Malmeth will be free of this infestation.
It's not over yet. Journal of Inquisitor Creed, 10th entry.
It's good to have Creed here. He's got a mind for battlefield tactics. I hope these refugees cooperate. We don't have time for politics.
I'm sorry about the cold welcome. I had no reason to believe help was actually coming after all this time. And yet, here you all are.
Understandable. Whatever. We'll speak later. Understandable.
Welcome to Malmeth, for what it's worth. Inquisitor Creed and I have been talking. While I may have taken the lead here, I admit I do not have the military experience he does. He will defer to me for smaller operations, but commanding our troops and taking back the city will fall to him.
Makes sense.
I've spoken with Karinia. She appears to be in charge of these people. Things here are about as bad as we thought. But with her intel, I believe we can make a difference in Malmeth.
So what's our plan?
Karinia has informed me of an old resistance outpost up on the surface in the Steel Cap district. They were forced to abandon it when the ethereal presence became overwhelming. I believe it will be a boost to morale to see it retaken, and it could serve as our base of operations when we advance upon Crown Hill. I've dispatched some troops, but I'd like you to lead the assault. Take the nearby sewer passage up to the surface and clear out any ethereals present.
I'll join the attack. See what we got in our inventory here as well. Don't we have another journal? Oh, here we go. Ripped note, first half. I don't know who I'm writing this for, but the words give me comfort and reason to go on living for a moment longer. I am utterly alone, tired and starving. Fatigue clouds my mind as supplies run out. I've tried desperately to find a way out of this wretched city, but there is no hope. The bridge is up and guarded by a gargantuan creature of nightmarish origins. I have no chance of scaling the wall, not without revealing myself to their patrols or falling to my death like the others. And so I've holed up in this old attic with only a small window to observe the world below. I can hear them outside. They moan and wail as if echoing the dying cries of the creatures they once were. They're scouring the city, collecting the dead and those too weak to continue fighting. I can only imagine what terrors await those who are captured. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before I'm found and share in their fate. I can only hope death comes quickly. Glyph of Ashen Wastes. Blade Dancer's Talisman. Inquisitor Creed, Entry 10. The Taken has forged a path from Burwich through the gloom walled and descended again into the very void itself to resurface with none other than Olgrim. I find it impossible now to dismiss the idea that he is indeed the Olgrim of legend and an immortal ascendant. As much as I am grateful to have such a powerful ally in this war, I cannot help but feel a little on edge when he is present. Between Olgrim and the recent rumors of Mog Dragan, I am concerned that either divinities may also begin involving them, that other divinities may also begin involving themselves in worldly affairs, as it is said they did more commonly in ancient times. This leads me back to the lingering mystery of Kaiman. It is apparent that he and his followers are drawing power from some godlike force, but who or what? I am very doubtful of Kaiman's claim that it is Empyrean that guides him, as he initially suggested. The power I sensed in Kaiman's emissary to Homestead had a feeling of malevolence to it. Kaiman was once a Brethren Inquisitor, but he went rogue in the years before the Grim Dawn. He's clearly not ethereal, but I fear he's entered into some manner of dark pact with an unknown power. Certainly if Empyrean, the high god of legend, returned to Cairn, a power such as that would be felt on a larger scale than merely one raving fanatic leading a group of vagabonds. Nonetheless, whatever entity is behind Kaiman's chosen, clearly it does possess significant power, and I am troubled, not knowing its identity or motivations. By God, the writing in this game is phenomenal. It really is. Like, it just... It's so easy to write...
I'll give you a good price.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's so easy to write...
Put it to good use.
general audience stuff. That sounds really condescending, but I don't mean it to be condescending. It's very easy to write things that are at a reading level that a more general audience would comprehend. It's much harder to write something that is clearly intended for adults with a decent vocabulary to grasp or well, not grasp, to enjoy. And it's exceedingly rare anymore to find that in games, and I'm really happy to see it in this game.
See anything you like?
I'm just gonna sell all the green stuff. Sell that and High Consular's coat. Phantasmal blade. Hurl a conjured blade infused with shadow magic that rends through flesh like paper. Yeah, I don't really need that. Stormcaller's effigy. I'm just gonna get rid of that. What is this? Bane of Nuram Sin. Granted skills. Bane of Nuram Silm. Ancient word of power which freezes the target solid in a prison of ice. Interesting. Maybe I'll just throw that in my... It's a ring, so I'll just throw it in the stash. We got spots for that. Throw it in the pile.
I'll keep an eye on this.
I'm sorry about what happened back there. I was scared and tired. I've done so much to protect these little kiddos. The thought of something bad happening to them just got the better of me. I understand. They aren't my kids, you know? I don't know whose kids they are. I imagine their parents were killed when the attack started. They've been with me since that first night, but neither of them has said a word about their family. I'll take good care of them. Oh, and I got 17,000 XP? Holy shit. Well, okay. That was enough to level up. Yeah, we'll just bump this up even more. So what are we at now? We're at current level 30, 105 physique, 105 cunning, 90 spirit, 720 health, 420 energy. Okay. Yeah. You know what? One thing that does bother me in the game is that I read this, but after level 50, so we're at level 61, but after level 50, you only get 2 skill points per level. And I can kind of get where they're going with that. Like they don't want you to have skill points left over, I guess, at the end of the day. But honestly, there's so many things that you can put your skill points into. I kind of wish they would leave it at 3 skill points per level. Because up to level 50, I think it's 3 skill points per level you get. And I don't know, reducing it to 2 just seems unnecessary. I mean, I'm sure they had a balance reason for doing it, but it just kind of, every time I pick up any kind of RPG where you have skill points to put into things, I always want to be able to get everything from the skill tree. You know what I mean? Like and I know that that's not the way a lot of designers want you to go with it, but it's just, I mean, the whole point is to be a complete badass by the end of the game. Like you start out weak and feeble, and you just become almost a god by the end of it. You know, like RPGs at their core are power fantasy, right? And that's why I mean I love story too, but I do love the power fantasy part of RPGs. That's why I gravitate to them so much. One of the reasons. This base is overrun with ethereals. Yeah, I can see that. So my point there being that when you make it so that it's not possible to get all the skills in your game, it feels like you're going against the basic premise of RPGs, which is just allowing people to just be as badass as they want to be. Like, you know, if somebody doesn't want to, if they just want to bank their skill points, or they don't want to, they want to make the game harder for themselves, they don't want to take all the skills in the skill tree, then like that's an option, right? Like you're not forcing them to do it. So like why make it so that it's not possible to do that? That always kind of has annoyed me. This guy can't even move. He spawned in a wall. Cleared the base of enemies. I certainly have. Oh, there was a person standing up there. What was that? I'm getting all kinds of achievements here. For Malmouth, retake the Malmouth resistance base in the steel cap district. It's like I feel like suddenly the game's like, here, have all the achievements. I'm like, geez, okay. I'll take it.
The outpost is ours, though it came with a cost.
Did it?
Those who lost their lives in the defense of mankind must never be forgotten. But we cannot let their sacrifices be in vain. We must push forward.
What's our next move?
Resistance had attempted to breach the gates of Crown Hill before, but they were not adequately prepared. It remains remains of their fallen still litter the streets, along with the explosives they had crafted for the task. I prepared a powder that should magnify the properties of their makeshift bomb dramatically, enough to pierce those steel gates and give us an opening. I need you to take this powder and recover the explosives from the failed mission. Combine them at the Crown Hill gates and blast the damn things open. Only then will we have any hope of breaching the Fleshworks and destroying the Master of Flesh. Once through, secure a foothold and report to Ulgrim, who will join you in the field.
I will do these things. Tip of the spear.
There you are. Creed said you might be able to help. Awful nice of him to set aside resources for us.
What is it?
While discussing the attack on Crown Hill, I brought up several targets that I consider of utmost importance if we are to ever secure the city. Creed was inclined to agree. If you are willing to help, speak to Captain Wilford. We've had some trouble in the Steelcap district that requires immediate attention.
I'll speak to the captain.
Corinne has given me the go-ahead to engage our efforts in the Steelcap district. You in?
What did you have in mind?
The Steelcap district was once the pride of Malmouth. Manufacturing facilities, forges, arcane shops, everything you could think of was once made here. All of it gone, destroyed in the carnage that ensued. But some of the old supplies still remain. If you're headed out into the Steelcap district, keep an eye out for any old weapon caches or arcane supplies, such as enchanting powders and magical implements. We could use it all.
Alright, I will go find them. You've asked me to go find a loot. And I am not in a position to refuse. Ovanda, hey! Don't touch me! Don't touch! Don't touch! Okay, relax, I won't touch you. Just stay back. Over there, over there. Stay, 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 over there. Are you a memory? Do you know? Would you know? I don't remember, but I'm sure I knew. I knew where it was, and now I don't know. I don't remember, but I know I knew where it was. I know I remember putting it there, but what it is I don't remember, and where is there is what I forgot. Are you looking for something? I think. Don't remember what, but I'm sure it's lost. A note. A note to remember. That's what I forgot. But a note is what I lost, and now I don't remember. You lost a note about what? A note to remember, to remember where it's hidden. That is what I forgot. I forgot to remember a note to remember it's hidden. Thank you. You're welcome, I think, but where is it? I don't remember. Do you? Maybe you remember. Maybe you can find the note to remember and tell me what I forgot. I'll find your note for you. Okay. Oh, we have a, oh, you're an illusionist. Okay. Do we have a, I imagine we have a forge guy here somewhere, right? Resistance refuge. This is where we came out. Does that go down into the sewers? That's where we came out of, I think. Note to Amy. Oh, maybe that's the note she's looking for up there. So, getting back to, I wonder if this is the note that she was looking for. Let's see. Note to Amy Brannock. My lovely Amy, I have no hope that this message will find its way to you, but it offers me comfort to lay out my final thoughts to you. I still remember the look on your face when you discovered you were with child, how you thought you could hide it from me all those long weeks. There was no hiding it. The joy was written all over your face. I will cherish that memory to the last of my hours. You must forgive me, my love, for I will not be returning to you. Something indescribable has happened in the city. There are so many people dead, killed in fighting that broke out overnight. There are other things, unimaginable things, terrors that roam the city, hunting people down and slaughtering them wherever they hide. I'm told there's no way out of the city now. The gates are barred, and the bridge has been raised. But there are still people here, Amy. People I can help. I beg for your forgiveness. Should these words reach you, I implore you to leave this place behind. Leave the farm immediately and never return. I fear that whatever has happened in Malmouth will spread beyond the city walls. Move swiftly and speak to no one. You must save yourself and our child. Find a place, a hidden place, and raise her well. Wherever you go, Amy, if I make it out of this place, I will find you. That is a promise. With all my love, Arai Brannock. Let's put the physique in there. There we go. And okay, I thought maybe that was, she still has a question mark over her head. Okay. Can't go much further that way. Okay. Let's head up this way then. Back into the Candle District. Go that way. Looked in there. Okay. Good stuff. yeah, as I was saying, as far as the Linux stuff, I also reinstalled Starfield, but on Linux this time. So may revisit that eventually for a little bit. Again, little one-off things here and there, as I'm feeling up to it. But I got a lot of stuff to cover. Whole lot of stuff. Which, on the one hand is a good thing, but on the other hand, it's I feel like I never get to all the things I want to get to. Every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get to this thing, and then like something else comes out that I've been waiting for, or that looks pretty cool, or whatever. It's like constantly being in a state of ooh, shiny thing. Renok the Rat's Warning. The other thing that also open chests. The other thing I was also thinking about was there's another streamer that I've been following for a long time, called Space Game Junkie, and he's got a nice big beefy like Discord server and all that stuff, and I think he at some point kind of ran into the same thing that I'm feeling, which is like you get fatigue at trying to actually, there's so many games to finish that you get fatigued trying to finish them because before something else comes out that also wants your attention. And he said an interesting thing that he does where he'll play, I don't know how much he does it anymore, but he'll play a game for like 4 days in a row, like 4 episodes kind of, and then that's it. I'll just do like 4 episodes of it, basically a week of it, because I think he only like streams, like he'll stream, I think he streams 5 days a week, but it was like he would do like 4 episodes of a thing on YouTube, at least as YouTube videos, not as streams per se, and then just get as far as he could in those 4 days, and then he'd just put it out. And if it's something he really, really enjoyed, he'd come back to it at some point in the future and just do some more. But, for the most part, it was just like, yeah, I got all these space games to cover. There's always more. So just do essentially 4 hours of the game and then move on to something else. And that's something else I've been thinking, like I don't know if I want to do that. My whole point of doing one of the points of doing all the Let's Play stuff was to actually complete games because I was never completing anything. But in the same realm, I kind of wonder if there's not a wisdom to that, right? Because there's so many things out there that's like, well, maybe, maybe you should just kind of have an artificial cutoff that is just well known by everyone who's watching, and then that's that, rather than just kind of randomly dropping things. But I don't know. That's kind of what that's on the one hand, it's a little bit of a difficult prospect because I only stream at most 3 hours a night. And with how long games are now, that's not a particularly long amount of time. And even if I were to do 4 streams of a thing, you're talking 12 hours. That's still not any significant amount of time for a lot of these games to figure out a whole lot about them or to really get into them. I mean, hell, if I had done that with AC Shadows, like it took 3 hours just to get the story started. So it's like, a lot of these like 80, 90, 100-hour games, you end up just kind of, I worry that I would end up just missing out on things that are, really get good the further in you go. All right, have I explored all of this? I feel like I have. Yeah, it kind of looks like I have. Because I'm just kind of going backtracking on my own boots here. There's like one little sliver up there, and a little sliver. Yeah, there's one little piece there that I didn't look at, but I can try and make my way back that way. This whole road I haven't gone down looks like. Oh no, those are friendlies. Okay. I've been through there. Oh, here we go. It's a group of them just sitting there. Yeah, there's a little alcove over here. been up here? I think I've been up here. Yeah, I definitely have. Stairs down. Resistance refuge. Let's see if I can get over to that stairs down thing. 'Cause I don't think I've found any of the quest stuff. Falmouth Harbor. Yeah, I was supposed to find some explosives, right? I don't see him anywhere. I can't get over there yet. Huh. Recover the resistance bomb. I mean, I've been all over this place as far as I can tell. Oh, well, I didn't go all the way up there. It's gotta be over this side then. Although it says, seems like I can go through there, but let me see. Oh, here we go. Where's this guy going? Over here, dude. You walked right past me. Okay. So whoa, okay there, friends. Let's all take turns here. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Can't get in there, huh? That's weird. All right. Kill these guys. Hey, Premier, welcome on in. How are you doing? Yeah, that's good. There's steps down there. Just check up here, make sure there's nothing interesting. Nope, there isn't. All right, let's go down. Tomb of Harold Mathis. Like there's more than just Harold Mathis down in this tomb. Unless he was a collection of undead. It's or shield. So I thought, I saw a headline saying that people were complaining about the price of the Switch, of Nintendo's Switch 2. And I thought initially upon reading it that they were complaining about the price of the console, which, you know, $449 and $499 is not really unheard of for that kind of thing. But no, it turns out that as part of the Switch 2 games now, Nintendo's going to start charging $80 per game. And a lot of those games aren't going to have physical releases. You'll have an SD card in the box, but all it'll do is just download the game from the servers. So that is what people were like complaining about, and you know what? Rightfully so. $80. I mean, when Nintendo does it, it has a tendency to become industry standard. And so if this is now okay, everything's going to be $80 now. I mean, we've already seen the up to $70 for a lot of things. And now 80 is going to be a bit rough for a lot of people. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of people who will pay it because, you know, it's Nintendo. I'm almost, I hate to say this, but I'm almost hoping that it hurts Nintendo badly. Like, people actually don't, like, their sales go down for things. And I only say that not because Nintendo does bad games. Nintendo does really good games. I say that because Nintendo's been such a shit when it comes to emulation, and it's been, you know, they've been very, very happy over the last couple years to sell you games on a system that was underpowered and could not deliver the $70 game that you were, like, the performance you would expect from a $70 game. And that was abundantly clear because you could emulate those games on a PC and get 4K 60 out of them, right? Like, the code was there. The code was there. It just could not do it on Switch console. And now you're getting an upgraded Switch console, which looks really good. And is definitely an upgrade. But then they're gonna pull this price nonsense, and yeah, I just kind of, I kind of sort of hope it bites them in the ass. I think they need some, they need a little bit of a reality check. They haven't had one for a very long time. Like, Sony is starting to get a reality check in their sales, which is why I think they're pushing PC, trying to get their games onto PC whenever they can. And I think Nintendo is long overdue for one. That being said, Nintendo's got a war chest that none of the other, you know, Microsoft and Sony don't have. Like, Nintendo is, like, they're flush for a long, long time, just from all the money that they've made over the years. So, you know, they might even just see it as they might take the wrong lesson from people not buying their stuff too, you know, because it won't necessarily hurt them as bad as it probably should. So I have no idea how that's gonna come to pass. And, you know, a lot of people have made good points where it's like, you know what? You can buy for pretty much the same price. You can buy a Steam Deck and have access to all of your Steam games and still be getting more access to Steam games as time goes on, you know? And still have all the benefits of a console. And you can even go one step further and you can forego the Steam Deck altogether and get yourself a halfway decent PC. It doesn't even need to be that crazy awesome, and put Linux on it and run all the same, you know, you can run SteamOS if you want to, or you can run Bazzite. Bazzite's like super easy to install and get all the benefits of playing those games on the PC, other than maybe like some modability, you know.
Locked.
Some of that might be a problem if you're modding games, but you know, most of the games I've thrown at it have worked pretty well. Even something like Star Citizen has actually been able to launch on it, which that game barely runs on Windows. You know? I mean, it was stuttery, obviously, but others have had success with it, so it might just be that I need to run the game for a little bit and let all the shaders compile. So I don't know. And Microsoft, I've said this numerous times, but Microsoft is really screwing themselves with Windows 11, because they're making so many moves that people are absolutely hating. You know, forcing you to have an online account, and they're also, you know, it's also breaking a lot more than even Windows 10 did at the beginning. And you know, trying to push ads into Explorer and all kinds of other things going on there. And I gotta wonder if, I mean, it's still not the year of the Linux desktop. That's not going to happen
Can't open that.
yet. Because Linux desktop still has a lot of growing pains it needs to address. But for gaming, it's like we have good like novice options out there now for people that just take care of themselves and get you up and running in 10 minutes with something that can run most of your games, sometimes at a better frame rate than even on Windows, depending on the game. So, like, I don't know. I don't know where that leaves us yet. I'd like to think that, I mean, obviously I have a soft spot for Linux, and I would like to see it succeed in all things. I would like to be able to, at some point, completely switch over to Linux. I can't do that yet because I have too many tools, like video editing tools and stuff, that are just much better on Windows. But I'm making the slow progression towards doing more gaming on Linux, and it's been going great so far. It has not, like, you know, in years past, there would have been a lot of me like trying to find forum posts and trying to get video drivers working and all that stuff, and I thus far have not run into any of that. Not to say that I won't run into it, but I haven't yet. and that's huge. I mean, right away. And given that you can run that on tiny handhelds too, like you could buy a, like a, whatever the, was it NVIDIA Shield, and there was another one too that's that's the same deal as like the NVIDIA Shield and stuff like that. And you can put Bazite on there and just run all your Linux games on that too, and basically have a handheld console of your own making that's cheaper than everything else going on. Now, obviously, you still have to pay for Steam games and stuff, and those are still, the prices are going up on those, but there's also, I mean, there's a huge Patient Gamers forum, right, where you wait long enough and a lot of stuff just ends up going on sale. Steam is having lots of sales. Epic's having a sale right now. GOG is having a little bit of a spring sale. And then like every week Epic gives away a free game, sometimes 2 free games. Like I've got a lot of duplicate games just because I got them from Epic. Right? So like if anything ever happens to Steam, I still have a copy of a lot of games over on Epic that were just free. You were just there, yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that, I don't think enough people take advantage of. And honestly, I mean, I've been paying for Humble Bundle monthly, the Humble monthly stuff for a long time, for years now. In fact, I'm grandfathered into the lower price thing. And when Humble was independent, that monthly bundle was really good, but lately last couple of years it's been pretty lackluster. But this month, they had some really good games in there. Like, I got Dredge for free, basically. I mean, obviously I'm paying a subscription, but at Dredge, had a bunch of other decent games in there. And then I've got Xbox PC Game Pass. So obviously anything coming out on Game Pass, I have access to. I also have, I mean, I guess technically, I think it's still a thing, but they also have, like, I have the Ultimate Edition, so I can actually, I think there's a website you go to, and you can fire up a cloud-based Xbox console, and just play your Xbox games from your web browser. And I tried it out once, and it actually seemed to work pretty good. Like, I could actually plug my controller in, the web browser saw my controller, my Xbox controller, and I could just play a game over there. Didn't even need to set up a console or anything. I don't know if that's still around. I think I would imagine it's probably still around. I mean, it was in beta when I was last looking at it, so I don't know. Who knows anymore? But I mean, that stuff is there. Like, we have more options now than I think we've ever had for stuff, and it just makes it all the more weird to see these companies just pushing their luck with the price of games. I mean, I get it. You have staff, and they need to be, and you know, cost of living continues to go up, and you have to keep paying your staff more. But that money is not all going towards staff costs, or even asset costs or art costs. Like that's just there's some major profiteering going on at some point there. And a lot of that is just due to a lot of these companies going public on the being publicly traded. I think you can on Xbox.com. Yeah, I think it's probably still there, yeah. Which, I mean, gets me onto a whole other topic where I honestly believe being a tech guy, working in tech and everything, publicly traded companies, it's the worst thing that ever happened to any kind of tech. And to the tech industry and to, I mean, I won't say to every industry, but at least to the tech industry and to gaming, because it really, like, they only care about hockey stick growth, right? Where it's like, you look at a growth chart and it looks like a rounded L, like a hockey stick. And if you're not doing that year over year, you end up getting punished severely for it. And it's just not puts you in an impossible scenario where you can't have your customers' best interests in mind and still be a publicly traded company. Let's do that. Destroy the Crown Hill gates. Claim the Crown Hill Rift Gate. There we go.
So this is what the Ethereals have envisioned for us all. I'm sure they won't mind that we let ourselves in.
So what do we do now?
Preliminary reports indicate that the main entrance to the Fleshworks is on the northeastern end of Crown Hill. It's sealed tight behind some thickly armored fleshy barrier. However, we also know that the Ethereals have several flesh vents around the district, emitting immense amounts of heat. If enough of them are destroyed, then the entrance may be forced open in order to compensate for the loss of ventilation. While I mobilize our forces for a frontal assault, you will need to seek out these vents and destroy them. It may be our only chance of getting inside and ending this Master of Flesh before his grand plan comes to fruition. Once you're inside the Fleshworks, I'm afraid you'll be on your own. Good luck.
I mean, what else is new? Alright, I'll take care of the vents. Cool. And then, what do we got up here? We got some enemies just kind of standing here, listening in. Some spies. Some enemy spies. Level you're at to try and prepare for ultimate. Yeah. Okay. Yo. That Aether Shard. Kill these bastards. And why can't I get? Oh, here it is. I'm having a dickens of a time navigating this level. Holy crap! Like, there's so many narrow corridors and stuff. He died. Reputation gained. And with the Black Legion. Nice. So this is the... It's like a portal or something here. Oh no, it's a crystal we have to get through. Or not. Huh. Did I... The star went away. I don't know if I did what I was supposed to do there. Oh, I'm just done with it? Okay. Alright. Let's get through this. Up here. Take care of them. Oh, this is not ideal. Can't see where I'm at, what I'm doing. Okay. So we get that relatively cleared out. Alright, good. Take that down. Desecrated shrine, yes. Cleanse the shrine. Shrine has been restored. Boss over there on ultimate, she has low percentage chance to drop some of the Krieg set police level 94. Okay. Office of Councilman Cole. Some iron bits. Ooh. Alexia. Okay. Ow. She hurts a lot.
I can't do that yet.
There we go. All right, enemy boss award. Wow, just dropped a lot of stuff. Arachnid's Embrace, Blueprint Oblivion, Corruptor's Robe. Okay. Oh, and there's a level up to 62. All right. Cool. All right, I gotta unfortunately stop here because it's getting late, but let's do some skill points here. And we'll do our devotion points. Let's do another one in Hydra. There we go. All right, cool. Oh, there's a Aether Warp totem there too. Okay. Well, we'll have to hold the line here. Let me physique there. And Oblivion blueprint. Take that. Any other blueprints here? Doesn't look like it. Alright. Do have some stuff to sell though, but we'll get to that. Okay. Okay, my friends. We're gonna have to stop there though. Because like I said, it is getting late. For me, it's midnight, and I want to at least try to get some decent sleep for tomorrow. But cool business, cool stuff. All right, we're definitely going to try to get back to Grim Dawn next Thursday. I want to get more of. I want to get through the DLCs. I love this game, and I just want to keep. I want to keep this progress going, because eventually, like once we get through all the DLCs here, I'm going to. We need to finish up Torchlight 1 as well, because that is still on my list. We'll get back to it. Not to worry. That'll be the next one, and then whatchamacallit has come out, and I want to play that. So after we finish this, which is going to take a couple weeks probably, and we finish Torchlight 1, which will also take a few more streams. There is a game. Let me see if I can pull it up here. That I was told I might really like because I like Torchlight. See if I can find it. It is. It is. Where is it at? feel like I have it installed. I'm not immediately seeing it though, but it is. Oh, here it is. Fate Reawakened. That has come out, and I would like to play it and see what it's like, because I've never actually played the game, and I was told this is along the lines of Torchlight, and from what I've seen in the videos and stuff, it actually does look like it's right in that same wheelhouse. So yeah, I'd like to get around to that eventually as well. So we got a couple of those things going. Tomorrow night we'll be back to doing some coding, probably doing the StreamerBot stuff, and then Saturday afternoon doing some learning some more game dev stuff, hopefully. I may end up doing another double header on Saturday, doing a double stream, so I might stream Saturday night as well. We'll see. And I don't know what game yet, and honestly I just wanted to kind of play it by ear and see if I'm in the mood. So there's that, and then Sunday we'll be back in Elite Dangerous, doing some exobiology and exploration stuff. I'm on a long exploration journey right now, so it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that. But yeah, that is the schedule as I know it right now, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you happen to run across this on the YouTubes and you have a like and or a subscribe that you can spare, that would help out tremendously. Also, I am multi-streaming to a new service, a new platform called Moonbeam. It is a Discord-like streaming service. It's got Discord-like chat rooms with the kind of streaming, like Twitch streaming kind of thing on top of it. And they're still early. They have the basic features in place, but they still have a long way to go. And I am trying to build a community over there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm hoping that everything goes well there. Obviously, it's a new service. It's got all the same worries that any new service has. We've had plenty new services show up and then die on the vine. So I'm hoping that these guys avoid that fate. But I really like what they're doing over there, and I'm trying to gather up not only a community over there, but also streamers that have kind of a similar disposition, but also are like creatives as well, like not just gamers like myself, but also like artists and other coders, other musicians maybe, things of that nature, sort of your non-traditional streams, if you will. There's another whole other realm on there that does just co-working streams, and they're pretty popular and stuff. So I'm just kind of throwing my hat in the ring there for some of that. So see how it goes. And if you go over there, right now it's myself and a streamer by the name of Corey Artis, who does art streams twice a week. So hopefully get some more eyeballs over there and some more interest with that. We'll see. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
I suppose by the transit of property, I too must be Vulcan as a motherfucker.